Hi everyone, Aoife Lynskey here with the Maroon and White Pod, and you're all very welcome back. I'm without my sidekick, Martina Harkin, this evening, but delighted to be joined by the one and only, the famous Joe Rabbitte. Joe, how are you?
Sure, good. Looking forward to the
Yeah.
weekend, I suppose, a certain amount of
Oh,
tension and everything like that, but that comes with the day. So I suppose, we have to take what we get, and that's it.
well, I suppose, Joe, the big days, like you're well used to them playing with Galway and having won your All Irelands and numerous county finals with Athenry. What's it like now, kind of preparing for this as the mentor, the manager, and as a parent, obviously, Alwyn and Sabina? It must be fair exciting now in the Rabbit household.
Yeah, look at it. It's wonderful to be in the All Ireland final, and it's excitement, and of course, there's a certain amount of tension as well. So because big days bring all that. But I suppose it's about using it and using the every advantage that you have, and try and bring it to the big day, and just make sure that you're ready for off.
Well, that's it. And I suppose sometimes Crow Park can take, on games of its own, different things can happen in Crow Park. And I suppose the girls are no strangers to Crow Park, particularly, Alwyn and Sabina as well this year. And of course, Dervla and Lisa Casterly as well, obviously captained the intermediates there a couple of years ago, and Trays and Jessie. But this is the first time for Athenry that they've played in the All Ireland final in Crow Park, so it's very, very exciting as well. And it's also the 50th anniversary of them being in their first All Ireland final.
Yeah, look at it. It's great to have the bit of experience that we do have. Girls are used to playing in Crow Park, but I suppose being used to playing in Crow Park is only one thing. And there's a lot of girls on the other side as well that are well used to playing in Crow Park. So look at that. That'll kind of even out on the day, and it's usually All Ireland finals is usually someone that comes out of the pack, that mightn't have been heard of before, that turns around and wins in All Ireland. So 'cause we have a very young team. When you're looking at it, we use 6 minors all this year, 4 starters and 2 come on for us. So like that's a very young percentage on your team. Of course, we have Jesse and we have Trey's and fantastic players and fantastic people to be around. So like the whole thing is kind of gelling together fairly well. So just about keeping it there and making sure that when we go to Crow Park that, we're there as one. There's no one girl out in Crow Park on her own. We're all out there together.
Well, that's the thing. And I suppose you mentioned there the youth and the experience, but sometimes it's great these days that the girls, the younger girls, they don't really mind. It doesn't seem to bother them as much as maybe it would have a couple of years ago.
Well, it does. Well, that's when you're going to a big occasion, and if it's not affecting you, it's not a big occasion. If you know what I'm saying. So I'd be telling the girls that look at everyone will be nervous, because it is a big occasion, but it's about the opposition will be nervous, and just about the way you're able to handle all the tensions that come with the big day. So look, we're looking forward to, I suppose, making sure that we're ready for it, and with the likes of Park Glenanne and Park Mannion, will say coaching them, and they have a lot of experience in big days as well. So hopefully that we just turn up on the day.
Well, Joe, you've had a massive kind of run into the final, like totally on merit. You've had a fantastic championship season, and to beat the All Ireland champions of 24 and 23 in Dixborough and in Sarsfields, and the county final obviously was a great performance by you from like number one up to the subs that came on. So it's not by fluke you're there. You have a fantastic team, and please God, it will go well. Any injuries or anything to any
Oh,
injuries? How are the team?
Yeah, we have the Alwyn had to do their ACL in the last minute of the county final. So look, that's one injury. But other than that, then we're fairly good. Nothing really. There'll be always little things that'll be bothering girls and lads as well. But just look at, we'll get over that and we'll be ready for the day.
Well, I'm sure Alwyn will be roaring and shouting up and down the line, and the girls will really want to do it for her as well, and it's up to someone else to step up, because she had a fantastic final. I thought she had a brilliant county final.
Yeah, look at we I suppose when we started out this year, right, at the time, myself and Park Glenanne were there because the other guys weren't in at that time, and we took the minors, and we really worked hard on the minors this year in order to kind of get them up to speed, because we knew that a lot of them were capable of playing senior, but just to make sure that during the summer that they were getting as much, we'll say, coaching and training as possible, so that when the senior debut came for a lot of them, that they were prepared for it, and they were. And this year, I suppose, it started out funny for us because we started with the minors, and the minors started the end of June, and so we really couldn't concentrate that much on senior until the minor was over on the 10th of, I think it was the 10th of August. So in the meantime, I was trying to be managing 2 panels as such, but then
not always easy.
No, it wasn't. No, but look at the girls there are wonderful, and they just love to come training, and they love to learn, and you know, they're great girls, and you know, it's a pleasure being around them, you know.
And not alone had you great success, obviously the 2 panels working together, you also won the junior B as well, which helped, and now they can be fed into this senior team as well for, you know, for Sunday.
I suppose, look at the minors, as I say, starting off in the year, starting off early on, we said we'll get as many of them up, and we won the minor A as well, which was a great thing. But I suppose 6 of them minors then went on to the senior, and the rest of them fell back to the junior B, and the rest of them are fantastic with the junior B as well. And it's just, I suppose, to try and keep them coming through and keep the conveyor belt going. It's not often you have that many minors starting on a team, so like it kind of worked well for us this year, you know.
Yeah, them girls in particular, that group of girls that you have, they've had success at All-Ireland colleges as well. So there's an awful lot of them feeding through. You've like as you've said, conveyor belt of girls coming through, and please God they'll stay playing, because a lot of the time girls can falter off around the late early 20s, and you know, you want to hold on to them like.
Yeah, look at that. You'll always lose the certain amount, you know, but once they're enjoying it, and I suppose the policy as well with us is that if a girl doesn't go away from training with a smile, she won't come back with a smile. So like they have to enjoy it, and like, you know, you can bring a horse to the water, but you cannot make them drink. So like, that's a famous old saying. So really what we're doing is just making sure that they're there, and that they're you know, and if they weren't there, it was their own fault, basically. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're giving them an opportunity to play camogie, and we're just hoping that they will take it.
Well, you have a fantastic background team as well. Like you mentioned there a few days ago that you have 7 or 8 with you from the juniors thing. How did you get? People are wondering. I know you've Pádraig Linnan in there for a couple of years. How did you get Pádraig Manning in, or what was the connection? How did you get him in?
Well, I suppose look at. I suppose we didn't try too hard now to get him in. I know. He was with us last year.
He money down there.
I didn't ask him for that much, to be fair, you know. So look, when he was finished his own, we'll say this year with you know, the club, then he was free, and sure, he lives here in Athenry, so he was delighted to join us then. Like Pádraig, he brings a different aspect, I suppose. He's the more modern type coach, and he's more into the video analysis and things like that. So it's brilliant to have him doing that, you know. But you know, he's very invested as well in Athenry camogie, because, as I said, this is his 2nd year, and you know, he's really interested in it.
I know. Look at, I mean, as you said, once they're enjoying the training, and like you have a different dimension with Pádraig coming in with you for the last year or two, but I suppose it's all about the girls and all about the game on Sunday. And obviously you're up against a fairly fancied side, but sometimes it's nicer to go in. I don't really know who's going in as underdogs, because it's finals for both, and this is Finbarr's, if I'm not mistaken, it's their first as well. But you said they're scattered with a couple of county players. They are. And I mentioned earlier on to Adrian O'Sullivan about St Finbarr's. A lot of the girls, he was involved with Cork, and he was involved with Galway as well in 2023. But he was saying that maybe the hurt of the All-Ireland final, do you think that could cast Anton on the game on Sunday? Or do you think it'll even bother them at all, that it's just club and they're going to go out no more than Athenry?
No, I don't think that there's any camogie, you know, person will need a motivation to win an All-Ireland, and whether you won last August or not, really, I don't think that's going to be an advantage to anyone or a disadvantage. Look, there are girls there, we'll say, with Cork that were playing on the day, and that's it. But those other girls in there weren't, you know. So look, it's going to be coming down to the day, and as you know, finals can take a life of their own. And both of us there for the first time, and it's just often, you know, in a final you can see that maybe something as small as maybe a decision could swing a game one way or the other, and that's it, you know. So.
Well, I suppose we won't be complaining about the pitch anyway, so that will be one less thing you have to worry about. You know, it's going to be a big wide pitch, as we know, but you look at the goalposts are the same size, the schlitter is the same size, so it's just, I suppose, whoever takes the game, you know, to each other as fast as possible and holds on to it as long as they can. Have you any matchups thought of, Joe?
Well, sure. Look at
your homework going like.
There'll always be matchups, you know. You'll be sitting back and you'll be looking at the oppositions, and you know. And as you know yourself, I'm not going to tell you the matchup. So
I won't even ask you. I wouldn't put it out anyway if you did. I'd tell them nothing.
But look, it's about two teams going as strong as they can against each other, and that's it. You know, and I'm sure they'll be having their matchups too. So it's I suppose one club against another club, and that's it. You know, so may the best club win, and I suppose that's the way it is. You know.
Look, it's fantastic to be there, and my God, what anyone wouldn't give to be there. It'd be a great Christmas present to have. No more than like, it's great to see like the likes of yourself and, you know, with Sarsfields, with Hopper and other teams having the dads now involved that did it with their clubs and county. And how do you keep the peace between the women, or do you drive separately to training? How does that work?
Sure, look at. No, in fairness, thanks be to God, there's never an issue, you know. The two of them are I suppose there's only a year between the two of them, so they're fairly even in the way they think, and they like to be playing camogie, and you know, I suppose, look, I'm so proud to be their dad as well, you know. So like there's never a row with them. To be fair, there isn't now. They have different characters, of course they would, but they work away together well.
I know, it's fantastic. Like, I mean, as I said, who wouldn't be dying to be in an All-Ireland final on Sunday? Obviously, it's under lights. Do you think that'll have any impact on the game, or not at all?
Not really. Sure, we're training for the last 2-3 weeks under lights anyway. You know, so since the county final, basically, we're training under lights. So look, it's going to be the same for everyone. You know, so I suppose the lights in Croke Park seem to be fantastic. So if anything, it's going to be better than what we had for the last couple of we'll say months since the county final. So look, it's good for the goose, the gander, simple as that, you know.
That's it. Yeah. No, Joe, obviously coming with an All-Ireland final comes cost and logistics, and there's a massive amount of planning. You've Kathy Dillon working really hard there in the background, and all of your background team. But have you sponsors there, and like money coming in, you know, enough to get you over the line? Things like that really help. And I suppose we'd be asking that everyone would get out and support you on Sunday and get the hats, flags, headbands, everything. Like everybody in Galway shouting for you, in Connacht, obviously, but you know, we'd want that everyone would support you on Sunday. And hopefully there will be a big crowd going. Is there much happening around Athenry?
Yeah, look at, there's buses filling up there, and I think the train is filled as well. So look at this, there's massive support around Athenry, and you know, I suppose the lovely thing about it for me really personally is that, you know, I was just in town there yesterday, and this one of our biggest supporters back in the day when I was hurling, like, he came across the square to me and a big fist up, and he's going to Croke Park, you know. And I suppose it's great for the likes of them, for those people, I suppose, that have seen it before, maybe 25 years ago, but now it's kind of like a rebirth for them again, and they're going to Croke Park again, and it's just great for the parish, and it's great for everyone around, you know, and it's given a great lift to Athenry as well, you know.
Of course it is. And look, it's all about family and community, isn't it? And there's lots of sisters there, and dads and cousins and everyone involved. And I suppose it's tinged with sadness, obviously, for you on Sunday, because obviously, you know, Kate Moore, she's going to be with you there. I know she's going to be with you on every girl's shoulder, but we think of her as well on Sunday.
Yeah. Look at, you know, you think of Kate every day, not even Sunday, you know. So like that's I suppose that is a reality that we had to shoulder up from 3 years ago, and like it's just something I suppose we brought with us, and it was very, very hard to maybe to go back out in that field again, and to try and find a way that girls kept playing camogie, and you know, because Kate was such a big part of them all. She was just such a character, you know. People that wouldn't know her, like we'd be talking about her every time you talk about Kate, you'd have a smile on your face, because there'd be something different every day. But we miss her so much, and look at, we hope that she's with us, and you know, if we could change things, we would. But I suppose the way the thing is, you cannot change it, and I suppose I really, really feel sorry for the family in occasions like this, because look at it, it brings back those horrible memories again, and where the Mordens will be sitting down next Sunday looking at television, and realistically their daughter should be there with us, and it's really tough for them. It's very, very, very tough for them.
It is. It's like, as you said, we do think of Kate every day, but particularly for Cathal and Mary and all the family. But I have no doubt that even I was chatting to Kathy there during the week, and I was just asking her how things were going and stuff. And obviously Kate came up in conversation, and Robin landed down beside me, and I just said it to Kathy on the phone. I said, Kate's here. So listen, I have no doubt our thoughts are with Kate and all her family and all of ye. And I've no doubt that if the girls give an extra % or two, that you'll get over the line on Sunday. And I suppose, Joe, with that, all we can do is wish you the very, very best of luck, and hope that everyone gets out and, cheers you on. You're representing Galway, you're representing Connacht, and you're there on merit. You've worked really, really hard to get there. The girls deserve it. And I hope that they give Finbarrs a right good game, and bring home the cup.
Yeah. Look, thanks very much. Look at it. That's it. I suppose that's it in a nutshell. But look, before I go, I suppose you asked me a question there, and I'd just like to thank the people of Athenry and Galway. We put up a GoFundMe page there, and it's working very well. And it is expensive to go to Croke Park with buses and get everything sorted out. And also, I suppose we would want to forget about Basil Hoyan, who's our main sponsor, and Basil has been very, very good to us. And I suppose, the way things are going at the moment, expenses are rising everywhere. So we're very lucky to have those kind of people on board.
And he's brilliant as well. I think he sponsored the Galway People of the Year award as well. So he's heavily involved with, all around the county. And I'm sure he's no different for you on Sunday. And to thank him as well on behalf of Athenry for you.
Yeah. Sure. Look, Basil is an Athenry man, heard for Athenry, heard for Galway Miners, and he's as excited as any of us now at the moment, But I suppose Basil is a different. He puts his money where his mouth is, and that's an amazing thing to have a person like that,
Well, Joe, thanks a million for coming on and taking the time out. I know it's not an easy thing to be doing, coming on, the week of the All-Ireland final, but really appreciate it. And please God, you'll be able to say to your daughters, ye have what I have now in the Club All-Ireland final.
Yeah. Look, I hope to be able to say that, and I also hope that they'll be able to have the good memories that we had doing it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, listen, enjoy it, because they don't come around often.
Yeah.
Thanks a million, Joe.
Thank you very much. See you.
See you later.
Bye.
No, delighted to be joined there by Joe Rabbitte, and earlier on I was joined by Adrian O'Sullivan. Now I'm delighted to be joined by Adrian O'Sullivan, a Limerick man, but I just found out recently that his brother is living in Ardrahan, so we're half related, Adrian. How are you getting on? And delighted to have you on board. You have massive experience with coaching. You're currently with the Waterford Hurlers. You've been with manager of the Dublin Camogie. You gave a hand with analysis to the Galway Senior Camogies in 2023, so you'd know a lot about. And also, you were with the Cork Seniors this year.
Yeah, that fairly sums it up. Yeah, I have a nephew wearing the blue and white in Ardrahan there now. So.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Sure, we're practically related.
We are practically related. But listen, thanks a million for taking some time out, and a massive weekend for the All-Ireland Club Camogie finals for St Finbarr's and Athenry. And obviously it's St Finbarr's first All-Ireland title, or not title, we won't give them that yet, All-Ireland appearance. And obviously Athenry have been in a few All-Irelands, and it's actually marks 50 years since Athenry were in their first All-Ireland in 1975. So have you any goss for us on the game?
I'm not sure. It's a great weekend though. I think the time of the year, and I suppose having the club final on the television for the last couple of years, and just being December and stuff, I think it gets a lot more eyes on it maybe than maybe other camogie games do during the year. And we've had a few crackers over the years, so I think there's a lot of kind of, I suppose, regular GA fans who mightn't always watch the camogie would kind of always pencil in the club final there on RTE in December as one to watch. So I think there'll be a lot of people looking forward to it. As you say, two very historic clubs. Athenry, I suppose, have more of the history on the camogie side of it. Obviously, they won a club hurling All-Ireland as well. But I could be wrong now. My stats mightn't be hectic, but I think if Finbarrs win, they're the first club to do 3 codes of the club All-Ireland. They obviously have the hurling and football one in the past, and they'd be adding the camogie to it. So which would be a fair achievement as well. So two historic clubs going head to head, so it all bodes well for the weekend. Yeah,
Yeah, I suppose it's not Athenry's first All Ireland. They've Jessica Gill and Trace Maher.
that's
They're
right.
probably the only connection to the team that made it to the All Irelands before. But this is the first time that both teams are actually in Croke Park. So
Ah,
both teams are scattered with county players and all stars on both sides. So I don't know if
yeah.
that's going to matter too much. How do you think it's going to fare out for both teams?
Yeah, it's hard to know. I suppose if you go down through the team sheets, like for I suppose for your regular Joe looking in at it, that might have an interest or a passing interest in camogie. There's probably more standout names on the Finbar side, as in more recognisable names.
Easy now,
Obviously.
easy, easy, easy.
But it's true though. Like I mean, like you look there, you've all the Cahalans,
Yeah.
Saoirse McCartan. Look, that's been nearly 20% of the Cork team for the last 3 or 4 years.
True, yeah.
Kate Wall came on the Ireland final as well. Whereas you go to, I suppose, the Athenry team, obviously Sabina stands out as a name that has been knocking around the Galway team for a while. Dervla Higgins. Then outside of that, you'd really want to know your camogie maybe for a few more of them. Like Lisa Cass there has been kind of a really, really solid player, but maybe wouldn't be a standout name with regards to being well known across the country. Obviously, Trey's Mara, the legend. But again, maybe people who are recent to camogie mightn't even know who she is. We had Kate Screen and UL with us on Ashburn teams.
Yes.
Really, really
Yeah.
solid player. But again, Joe, your average person might know. So I suppose if you're just looking at the two teams side by side, you'd say that Finbarrs maybe have more of the star quality. But I suppose that'd be doing the service to Athenry because they have, I suppose, a real interesting narrative coming into the game, and I suppose different motivations. And obviously with Joe as the manager as well,
Yeah.
he's fairly driving them as well. So I think there's probably more to it than just the teams being listed on paper, really, isn't there?
Well, that's for sure. And there's a great mix, like you've mentioned, girls there that people would know, and then there's the girls that they mightn't know. But there's a great mix of youth and experience, and it can be a dangerous place to be when you don't know a lot of the names. But
Yeah,
I have a couple of names there. Obviously, you mentioned Dervla Higgins, but Laura Franey, she's the sub goalie for Galway there, and
yeah,
an excellent goalie as well. You've Sinead Feeney there. You've Emer Kane, Claude Burke. Kayla Madden that people may not know, but again, it's kind of under 16s and minors coming through in the county. So it might be dangerous for Finbars to think like, oh, they only have one or two county players, which
yeah.
they're very settled, consistent team at Athenry this year. And I suppose they've bet the two All Ireland champions in the last, Dixborough and Sarsfield. So is the
Yeah.
right aligned or is the stars aligned for them? Who knows? Like,
Yeah, no, like very valid points there. Like you have to say, like they have form coming in. I suppose any team at the start of the year would think that if they could take Sarsfields out, that they're giving themselves a good chance of going the whole way. I coached down in Kilkenny for a couple of years with Thomastown, and we bet Dixborough one year and won it, and they bet us the other year and won it. So again, the teams in Leinster will be thinking, or even in Kilkenny, like Spiltown, if you can take Dixborough out, you have a fair chance of going all the way to Croke Park. And Athenry have taken the two of them out. So you have to say they've good form coming in. Good form coming in. Obviously, Alwyn is probably a bit of a loss there, depending on what maybe role they were going to give her. I know Cahill liked to use her as an out and out man marker. Maybe Athenry probably used her a little bit differently, more in an attacking role, but she could very well have been assigned to someone like Orla Cahalane or Kate Wall to try and take him out, cancel him out of the game. And I suppose that's probably a card that maybe isn't in the Athenry deck now, if the injury reports are to be believed, which you might tell me otherwise. But
I can't say,
um,
I can't confirm or deny. We'll
yeah,
ask John
yeah. So we'll
Gallagher.
find out. It's usually the Cork teams that pull the Gemma O'Connor's a selector with Finbar, so she'll be well
Yeah,
used to that now, getting a number 30 jersey and slipping on there just before the start of an All Ireland. I think she did it one year, but yeah, look,
yeah, we talk
it's
about
a
the
very
matchups
interesting.
there. We'll have to talk about the matchups of Joe Rabbitte and herself on the sideline.
That's
But
it, yeah,
the matches that St Finbarrs have played now as well, I mean, every game that they've played in the last few games have gone to extra, and some have gone to extra time. So they've
yeah,
had very, very tough games. And obviously, Athenry, won't have played in a couple of weeks or whatever. But I mean, Athenry had a fair, pat to the final as well. And by beating, Sarsfield's All Ireland champions is no mean feat. Like, so
yeah,
where do you think, where do you think the game is going to be won or lost?
yeah. I suppose to go to your point there, like Joe, we've given good credit to Athenry there for their path to the final. Like Finbar's beat a really, really good Newcastle West team, and again, Newcastle West might come under the radar a little bit because Limerick Camogie isn't in a great place at the moment to be the odd Limerick champions. like talk around here is that Newcastle West team would beat the Limerick team, like as in they're backboned by a serious spine of players. So that was a huge win for Finbars, and like they did it the hard way as well, conceded kind of late goals and went behind in extra time and dug it out. And then they beat a De La Salle team that had Beth Carton, Abby Flynn, Maggie Gostel, like had half the Waterford forward line in it,
Yeah.
and again stayed going right to the end. Saying the last day it's a serious Lochiel team, as well. So like they have an unbelievable path to the final. Like a good chunk of their players won a football title in Cork with their Rogue after extra time and a replay as well. So like they'll go the hard road if they have to as well, Joe. They have savage forwards and they have flair players and all that, but like there's a bit of cutting in the bars as well. And like if it does go all the way to 60 minutes or 80 minutes or whatever it is, they won't be found wanting there either, you know.
What do you think the matchups will be? Like, who's going to take the Cahillans? Do you think? Who's going to mind Derval Higgins, Therese Maher? Who's going to mind all, Jessie Gill?
Yeah.
As you
Like
said, Lisa Cassidy, all them girls, they're all needing marking, but is it going
yeah,
to be?
the Derval one is interesting because like I suppose if you were at county level, maybe she'd probably be the one that would match up best with Orla Cahalane potentially. But
Yeah.
then like are you going to move your centre back out of the middle just to do a man marking role? Have they got someone else that can do it? Like you could put like Lisa Cass would sit into centre back there, comfortable enough, and hurl away as well, not a bother if they did want to move Dervla. So that'll be interesting. Um, that'll be interesting to see.
And Sarah McCartan as well. She'll need minding, but on the
She'll
other
need
hand, so
minding
will
like
Spina. Yeah.
yeah, and Sorsha can kind of play a dual role there, Joe. You put her in at the edge of the square, she can move. She is a big physical player, but she can move left and right and. Like close to goal, she's dangerous, but she's very effective in that kind of, I suppose, Declan Dalton role of like drifting away down the field from 12. And if she gets the ball in her hand, I suppose you saw in the league final this year, she did serious damage against Galway above and Thurles, drifting back into her own half and delivering really good ball into Orla Cahalane. And herself and Orla have a bit of an understanding there.
Yeah.
So, that's a real kind of a link that's crucial to the Bars. So you'd imagine that Athenry will try and shut down that supply ball from Saoirse McCartan, and they'll try and man mark Orla Cahalane. But how willing they are to vary away from their own tried and trusted setup. I suppose that's always the balance. Your coach yourself is like, how much do we focus on the opposition,
I know.
but to what cost to our own way of playing? And like
It's
they'll
a
have to
hard
get
one,
that
isn't
balance
it?
right. Yeah, they'll have to get that balance right.
You'd always say, like, look, we'll worry about ourselves first and let them worry about us. But you always have to have a plan B, obviously, and like they're lethal players. That's there.
Yeah.
And do you think the whole thing of Cork and Galway this year and the hurt of the All Ireland final may have any bearing at all on? There's three girls there that were playing. Would be a
Yeah.
catalyst to drive them on again, or will it even come into their
Yeah.
heads?
No, but I suppose across the Bars panel, there's probably 9 players in total that have lost either the under-23 or the senior final to Galway this year. They had a good few. Ciara Golden, Ella Wigington Barrett, a few more of them were all on that 23s panel that Galway beat inside the Gaelic grounds as well. So I suppose you could look at it two ways. Again, I suppose, Sunday evening we'll know whether we're right or wrong, but you could say that the Athenry girls will take savage confidence and that they'll have a number of players that went into 2 All-Ireland finals as underdogs against Cork teams and won, and will be going into Croke Park again as the underdogs, and will definitely be drawn on that experience and that confidence. And then with the Cork girls, it'll go one way or the other. They won't want to be beaten for the 3rd time by a Galway team this year. Like for the Bars girls, winning on Sunday would make up for both of those All-Ireland losses. Like winning with your club
Oh yeah,
for the
there's
first
no
time.
comparison.
It turns a pretty poor year into an unbelievable year. Like that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
So they'll definitely have that hunger as well. There's no question whatsoever. Then again, you look at it. You mentioned Sarsfields there. Like I think personally, the Bars are probably placed to win a couple more in Cork over the next couple of years. I think they're a little bit ahead of the pack. Whereas Athenry have to go back in next year and start from scratch again, and you can be sure Hopper and the lads will be waiting for him again. So like getting out of Galway could be the hard part next year for them, Like so, you could argue, do they have to take their chance? Like, is this it for them? Like there's a young Sarsfields team waiting in Galway there to try and take the scalp off them again. Like, is
Oh,
this the chance?
yeah. It will have hurt. It will have hurt Sarsfields. But I suppose for Athenry, they've done it. They've done it the hard way, and like I'd be saying, take their chances now. And for the likes of Maher and Jessie, they're delighted that they're back there. And sometimes as you get to be an older player and a more experienced player, like these chances don't come around too often. And they're going to really relish the chance on Sunday at 4:15. Now, obviously, it's going to be under lights. Do you think that'll have any bearing on or would you care whether you're playing in the dark once you win it? You don't,
I don't think it'll be an advantage to either team. I'd say probably neither team has played too many games under the lights. I know none of the Cork club games are played in Páirc Uí Rinn, and
No, possibly not. No.
I don't think any of the Galway games were played in Salt Hill or there, or in Ballinasloe under the lights or anything like that. So I don't think that'll be an advantage to either team. They're both fairly experienced in Croke Park. Like, they're both littered with players who played in Croke Park before. So again, like, sometimes if you're going to Croke Park for the first time, it's kind of the small things around it that can throw you off. Like just getting the timings of the buses right and having to drive under the tunnel, and the warm-up area is a bit different and all that. So like, if you didn't have players that were experienced with that, that's something that could maybe just throw you off a little bit, but that won't be the case for either team.
No, I
don't think the venue will be. If anything, I think what will come down to is just the wide open spaces could suit the Bars, because they do have very lively forwards, and like the pitch will be in really good nick. And I think, like, for me, Orla Cahalane is probably the best inside forward in the country. I know, like, that's my.
And what if they hold her? If Athenry hold her, you seem to be gearing a little bit toward the old Bears there, right?
Look, it's like this.
You might know, you know more about them. Like,
I do know more about them, yeah, to be fair. And like I suppose, like, Athenry have a serious narrative coming in. You have, like,
you do, yeah.
You have the links back to the hurling team, with Dervla Higgins and the Rabbits and their fathers played and all that. And then you have the link back to their last team with Trays Maher and Jess Gill, as you say.
Yeah.
And obviously they've been through, like, an incredible tragedy as well with Kate Moore, and like, that's so difficult, but it can be inspiring as well. And it, like, like, that'll bring a community together. And so, like, they've a real interesting narrative, and like, Joe Rabbitte was such a legend for Galway as well.
Yeah. And
he was a warrior, and like, they won't be found wanting from that point of view. And now he's here in an All-Ireland final again, and his daughter's playing.
Yeah.
So, like, it's the newspaper's dream, like, if Athenry.
It'd be fairy tale stuff, wouldn't it? For them.
Fairy tale stuff. You've so much. There's such a narrative there, but like, I will call it, because obviously there's no point coming on this and not calling it.
Come on, don't be sitting on the fence.
I think the Bars will win, but I wouldn't.
By how much?
I wouldn't be gambling the Christmas presents on it, like.
Well, not the one you're going to send in me, anyway.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think if they hit form, they just have the forwards that they could win by 3 or 4 points, I think. That's just my gut. But, like, obviously, as I said, like, my brother coached a lot of the Athenry players in school in the Pres to win in All-Ireland.
Shout out to Sully. Yeah.
Sully, yeah. I was involved with Cahill for a summer there, doing a bit of analysis with him as well. So, look, I've nothing but good vibes towards the Athenry players as well. So, look, I won't be cheering for one team or the other.
Yeah.
You'd be happy for either of them to win it in their own right. Like, I'd have a great time for the Cahalans and Kate Wall and Sorsha and all them as well. They never let us down with Cork, like, so. Look, whoever wins, you'd have to say fair play to them. But if you push me to spin my collar, I do think the Bars will win it.
Okay, and I'm going the opposite because I'm a Galway woman, and I do think it would be fairy tale stuff. And we mentioned the history of kind of Athenry, and I think on its 50th year of them getting to an All-Ireland final, and they got beaten actually by a Limerick team in 1975, and that was in, if I'm not mistaken, I think
Croke Kilfinny, was it?
It was in Kinney Park, Athenry, where?
Croke Kilfinny, I think, beat them, was it? Is that who it was?
I think it was. I'm not 100% sure. I had Limerick, and it was like, right. Yeah. O'Sullivan is coming on now. I tell him it's Limerick. So, and I feel with the whole thing of Kate Moore weighs so heavy on Athenry's camogie team, and she's such a big part of it, and it has just kind of the whole community of Athenry and around it has almost like, it's like we want them to win, not alone for themselves, and obviously for Joe Rabbitte, and he's a brilliant management team with them, and the junior side, they won the junior B county title as well. So there's a lot of girls there, but especially I'd love it kind of for Kate Moore. So it is going to be a bittersweet no matter what, but we will be thinking of Kate Moore on the day. And all we can say, I suppose, is the very best luck to both teams. And I hope there's a good crowd. We'll be up there anyway. And listen,
the Bars will bring a boisterous crowd anyway. That's for sure.
We want a bit of life in the place. Yeah.
Throw her to be on tour on Sunday anyway. There'll be plenty of noise. They do enjoy getting behind the team, I think, and enjoying a few establishments around the place.
No. I know it'll be great. It'll be great. And PJ Malloy there was involved with, and Dermot Monaghan as well. They were all involved with and Eugene Clune. They were all involved with Athenry the last time they were in All-Ireland finals. So for them as well, it'll be lovely. And you'll have to outsing them in the fields of Athenry. So I don't know.
Yeah. I know, look, it should be a great game. We're looking forward to it. So, I suppose everyone cliche, may the best team win.
Oh, that's exactly it. But come here, Adrian, thanks a million for coming on. And hopefully we'll get you on. We'll see how this game goes and we might get you back on again. And listen, best of luck with the hurlers in Waterford. They're blue and white anyway, so that'll do me.
That's it, exactly.
Thanks a million, Adrian.
No matter. Thanks, Aoife.
And just to wish Athenry all of the very best on Sunday in their quest for their All-Ireland Senior Camogie final. And please God, a massive crowd will come out and support them at 4:15 on Sunday in Croke Park. And also to Kilcurran-Clanburn in their All-Ireland football, senior football final, and also Caltracoons as well.